there was something that really grinds my gears. TLDR, it is something in relation to tourism. Literal tourism, actually. I'm certain some of you know Snap. She's a reasonably popular web content creator. She makes a lot of manga and anime reviews as far as I know, and she is Giguk's wife. But anyway, there is a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of a story. She was in Japan for a holiday or some kind of event, not sure what. As you can see from the post, she did not have a particularly positive experience in one of the establishments she went to. Initially, she was allowed into some establishment, probably a food and beverage establishment, under some misconception that there was a local to vouch for her. The person she was accompanied with looked like a local, and the employees basically misunderstood that. Eventually, it came out that both of them were not locals, and in certain store policies in Japan, it is unfortunate, but no tourists are allowed into those establishments. And really, it doesn't matter how good your Japanese is. Certain stores have this very hard and fast policy. It's unfortunate, and I have noticed that some people in Japan have gotten a bit more strict with this requirement. Since Snap, I like her content, and I feel that, and I do know that she is a pretty good person online, but this really made me want to tell Sin Snap she has to be a bit aware of what is going on exactly with the situation in Japan. One very specific message got to me. This person say, wow, how is acceptable to be openly dead in Japan? I don't understand it at all. I'm just going to talk about what he said. It really made me started to think, where have you been for the past few years? Where have you been? How does this confuse you? This is ridiculous. I made a collage. I'm sure some of you might have seen the collage on my Twitter page. This was a collage of a list of incidents that just happened in a span of a year or so. We all know about the Johnny Somali thing. I'm sure you do. But there's a lot more than that a lot of you might have missed out. Johnny Somali was just a high-profile one, but there were some even worse ones, honestly. Let's get started with the Johnny Somali one. You all know already. I won't talk about it. Are you seeing the one at the top right, the guy with the glasses? Basically, that one was really very infuriating to me. I saw the snippet of his video when it happened a few days ago. At that point in time, he was doing streamer things and talking about, oh, Japan is so different from Australia, blah, blah, blah. And he went into a women's only carriage. Oh my goodness. I've not seen a women's only carriage in Australia. And he just went straight into the women's carriage, walked the entire length of that carriage, then left. Excuse me. It is called a women's carriage for a reason. That is not acceptable behavior. You are lucky, Mr. Streamer from Australia, that the women in that carriage didn't report you to the police and didn't report you to the train authorities, because that would have been a big incident for you. It will not be fun. The worst you had was being criticized on the internet. That's a slap on the wrist. Now let's keep going for the next one. The image below the Australian streamer, I recall his name is Fidias. Correct me if I'm wrong, he's Moroccan, I don't know, but he was a tourist. And his shtick for this content was fare evasion, basically. He entered various Shinkansen trains, as far as I know, hiding in the toilets, trying to get free fares. I think eventually he got caught. The fact that this is something you thought it was a good idea, go to someone else's country and freeload on their public transport systems and bragging about it, making content about it, very, very shameful. And again, he had a slap on the wrist. Barely nothing. Let's keep going. The bottom one is just a small piece of news, but in August 15, some tourists climbs onto a family mart in Shibuya and being obnoxious and disrupting people's way of life until the police step in to escort him. I am seeing a very strong pattern here. Oh yeah, I want to get to one of the biggest ones, the greatest hits, if you will, of why Japan, not just Japan actually, I will show you later it's not just Japan, but in this situation, Japan is the backdrop. But why many host countries with a strong tourism attraction are becoming less tolerant of tourist behavior, or basically even foreigner behavior. This one is going to be quite a doozy for me. Look at the post on the top right now. The one about haircut. Can you see it? It's very simple actually. This was a very straightforward situation. Some foreigner who doesn't know a lick of Japanese goes to a local hair salon. The hair salon leaves a message. Our employees are unable to speak English, and because of that, we are very sorry, but we won't be able to serve you in the best way possible, because not understanding your instructions will be very detrimental to your satisfaction as a possible customer. Very straightforward, right? Very straightforward, reasonable request. And you saw the reply from him by this account below him, Daniel. I thought he was being 100% trolling. I thought it was sarcastic. I really did think it was just like a joke in poor taste, but if you all dig through his replies back then, and you can trust me if you want to, but I can verify from my own digging of the information, he was 100% serious. Imagine that. You go to someone else's country who have their own language that they customarily use. You as a foreigner want to go to their establishment, seek their services, and the locals say, I'm sorry, we really do not understand your language. We really will struggle to give you a satisfactory service. And immediately, you have someone like Daniel right here saying, call the police. They should be able to speak English. If they don't, they should be arrested. Can you imagine that? How does that sound to you? That is main character syndrome right there. That is your colonialist behavior seeping out. Imagine if you were back in the 1700s or the 1800s, what have you, and you have some colonialist saying the locals should speak our language or else we will make their lives difficult. Can you imagine how that would sound? Yeah, that was very appalling. Do you know what the irony is? There is a punchline to it all. This Daniel guy, he's a localizer. He localizes Japanese anime and video games. Funny how that works out, huh? Sometimes you can see their job, but you can almost infer their attitudes towards certain things. Let's keep going then. The one at the center by Masa, I think is very self-explanatory. Another tourist doing things they should not be doing. And this is a Tory gate, by the way. Imagine, let's say you go to a cemetery. You start playing around with the tombstones. Same energy, in my opinion. It was very, very disrespectful behavior. The one at the bottom left, fortunately it was not as bad. He came out of the airport in Japan, started blocking traffic, dancing like an idiot. The one at the top left, I believe I have a video of that. Imagine you cause this much disruption in a public train. Moving around, dancing around, causing a lot of noise, yelling, laughing, thinking you are being very quirky. I think the worst one honestly was this guy. I think this guy was the worst. Look what he does. Look what he does. He throws the hat. Who knows where the hat went to? A local might have gotten shit straight from that hat. And I think this is funny. They really do think this is funny. This was what I said to Sinsnap. She was respectful. I assume she was, but this is an unfortunate reality right now. The thing about being locals in a host country for tourists is that they don't have the time to assess everyone on a case-by-case basis. All they have is an aggregation of your behavior. And so, like I said, it's unfortunate that you as a behaved guest are being lumped in with legions of very bad behavior people, but it's unavoidable. Either tourists as a whole start improving their behavior and being more respectful when in the host country, or Unfortunately, it's just going to get worse. In this case, Japan is just basically more on guard. And it's a shame. It doesn't have to be like this. All people have to do is know how to behave. You should know how to be human. You should know how to be a normal person when you are in a host country. And I got one more thing. In case there's anyone on the chat trying to say, oh, it's just Japan. It is just Japan. It's not just Japan. Watch this one for a moment.
I don't care what it is. I wanna cut your ass alive. Hey. Yo, I didn't mean to. I pay money. I pay money. I give money. I take off. Look. Wait. Yeah, yeah, I give money. I didn't mean to.
No. You don't need the money. You don't do like this.
Yeah, I didn't mean to destroy property.
We don't do that.
I know. I'm sorry.
We don't need money. You don't do like this in here.
I'm sorry.
That guy, I think, was Johnny Somali's little friend, does the same thing as him, causes disruption the same as him. And do you notice that when the locals were not having his behavior, the first thing he say, I will pay money. I am American. I will pay money. This is how they behave, some of these people. And I do hope that a lot of Americans do not behave in such a way. I know a lot of Americans from my time running my Facebook page and also interacting on Twitter. I would love to believe that these are minority number of people and they are just very, very loud. But unfortunately, they are creating the stereotype. Imagine behaving so badly, so terribly, that when you're being called out for it, when someone says enough is enough, you think giving them a bit of money is going to shut them up. Saying, oh, I am American is just going to magically make it all okay. Oh, they are like that. That's completely fine. They don't mean anything to it. No, even if you're American, you should know basic respect. You should. Here's a bit of personal experience. I go to a few stores. People don't seem to have a very high regard of Americans where I am. It's unfortunate. The thing is, I can't really blame them. I would like to go back to that post that I was talking about. Well, how it's acceptable to be openly intolerant. I don't understand it at all. You understand it. Don't pretend you don't. You definitely understand it. The thing is, I do think they did politely explain to this person with the C profile pic why this is not good behavior and why there is a basis for certain countries to have a bit of a guarded disposition. This one, ill machine. You just explain it, then say you didn't understand it. It's acceptable there, so they do it. I'm seeing all these replies explaining why he got it wrong, but his reply is basically being hostile. Imagine you cause problems for other countries and other countries start to get a bit guarded, then you blame them for reacting. This is something I have been noticing when I am not just on Twitter, but on YouTube comments and also on Facebook. There's a lot of these bakjaw, not very culturally sensitive people in America. They will throw insults at you. The first thing they will do is when you criticize their behavior, let's say, they say, why are you so reactionary? Oh, you are just a reactionary. Okay, fine. Reactionary. Do you know what that means? Reacting. Let's say reactionary is a bad thing, according to them, all the time. No exceptions. Being a reactionary is a bad thing. So my question to you is quite simple. If you think that the people reacting is bad for reacting, why are you so quiet towards the people who did the action that created the reaction? Why is it always blaming the people who react? What happened to the people who created the situation to start with? And of course, most of the time I ask that question, I either get silence or the usual go touch grass or the usual insults.